that. Okay. Hmm. Okie dokie. Wonderful. And excellent. Okay. Good evening, teachers. Lovely teachers. Sorry about last week. Had a few problems. A couple of power cuts, so I was worried about the connection. So I didn't want to take any risks because I'd had a couple of power cuts later in the day. So thank you for joining us. Please let us know if you're here. We'd like to see your names in the chat. All right. Tonight's session is on using stories to help learners develop their English. All right. Oh, hi, Maggie. First one. Yo, how are you? All right. So we'll try to do a couple of storytelling activities using a couple of stories and one for older learners, just so that you know. All righty. Can we have the next slide, please, John? Hi, Nancy. Welcome. All right. I'm not going to read the aims. There it is. Because you can't have stories. Oh, they're all flying in now. So, Soha, Mariam, thank you very much. Lovely. Because when you're doing stories, of course, they're to build up language, to help the students develop their language. But of course, you can't have stories without cultural aspects. And of course, the one great thing about stories is that it's all about imagination, isn't it? So, hello, Rowan and Sundus. Yes. Okay, lovely. Nia, lovely, lovely. No, we're just starting now. Hi, Salma. All right. So I was just waiting to see if people had arrived. So I will repeat the session, the title. It's Teaching Through Storytelling. All right. So in case you didn't hear the first time, my aim is to cover a couple of stories for younger kids and one for older students, inshallah, if all goes well. All righty. I would also advise you to all have a pen and paper nearby, piece of paper nearby, or your tablets. And all right, especially if your tablet has a pen, a stylus, that would be great. Okay. Oh, we have two Selmas. Welcome, welcome. All right. So let's get started. So next slide, please, John. Right. Now, I'm going to try to elicit from you. What can you see in the three pictures, please? Hi, Mai. Oh, lovely to see from you. Well, to see your name, I should say. So, please write what you think are in the pictures. It's just words. Nice. Ah, yes, the third picture. Oh, well done, Maggie. Yes. We've got straw. So we've got the first one there is straw, the first picture. The second one is wood, and the third one are bricks. And we're changing the title of the story, and you'll see why in a minute. All right. So yes, usually we just say wood. Okay. But well done, Nancy. I think that's a new word for me. Do you mean like worm boards or something? Or wooden boards? But yes, wood is fine. But well done for noticing that they're boards. I just wanted to show you a picture of wood. All right. Okay. So oh, hi Safa, wonderful. All righty, lovely. So we also need some verbs. So when you're making a house, for example, what verb can we have for this? You can type it in the chat box. So if I'm doing a house, okay, what verb? Which verb do I need? Excellent. Good. And what's the past tense of build? Build is the correct word. We just need the past tense. Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, great. So build, built. Okay. So you can have a house made of wood. You can have a house made of straw, a house made of bricks. Okay. All righty. So that's good. So we've got wood, house. We have an important verb. And here's another verb. Don't worry, we've done build. But that's the time lapse. Oh, well done, Passant. That's too sophisticated for our story. But built is fine. Okay, so what am I doing? Good evening, Yasina. That's a new name for me. Looks like a nice name. I don't do this very often. That's why I'm overweight. So, what's the verb here? Yes, good. And Passant, your vocabulary is too complicated for a children's story. But well done for having a great range of vocabulary. All right. So no, running, okay? And the verb is to run away. All right. So we've got built, and run away. And what's the past tense of run away? So we've got run, past tense. Yes, very good indeed. So we have built, run away, and run away. Okay. It's difficult to see on the camera. Um, escape. No, 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 no. Children's story. But well done. I can see there's lots of nice vocabulary flying around, but we're doing kids, so their vocabulary isn't so sophisticated. But of course, it depends if you're teaching older students. That's another matter. All righty, but we're starting with the smaller ones. But very well done. Okay, and we need three other words. So when we have number one, number two, and number three, what can we say instead? Mm-mm, mm-mm, and the yes. So we have first, then we have well done, Soha. Yes. First, second, and third. Well done. These are important words. But well done, everybody else, for coming up with ideas. Lots of stuff flying around, which is really good. Ready, steady, go. But no, but very well done. No, no, no. We are just doing first, second, third. All right. Okie doke. So we're going to do a story together. But our story is called The Three Little Kids. Okay. So no animals in our story. Well, only one. So we have the three little kids. So can we have the next picture, please, John? So as you can see, we have three little kids in our story. And we also have a very important character. This is the big bad wolf. Okay, this is very important. These three words you have to remember. So we've got first, second, third, and not just any wolf. We have three little kids. We have built, and we have ran away, and we have the big bad wolf. Okay, so we can't say we have to say all those words together. The big bad wolf, because he's bad. Okay, in the story, he's very bad. Now, um, I'm old, so my voice isn't so good tonight. So you're going to help me with the story. All right. So, how do we start a story? What is the first phrase? The classic way to start a story. Yes, brilliant. Okay, so let's try to make the sentence. We've got once upon a time, there were, no, we're not in a faraway land, but we're starting with once upon a time. Okay. Very classical. Hi, Ibrahim. Well done. Okay. Let me help you a little. So once upon a time, there were... See if you can finish the sentence. So we've got, once upon a time, there were... Okay, can you do the whole sentence? So once upon a time, there were... So full sentence, please. No, that's not what we said, is it? We said, once upon a time, there were 3 little kids. That's your sentence. So see if you can write the whole thing. Some of you are writing different things that we're not that we didn't say. No, there were. There were. Yes, Soha, champion. Yes, Khulud, lovely, lovely, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Great, nice one, Nancy. Great, great, great. Okay, nearly there. Brilliant, brilliant. Minna, yes, great. And also, we have, yes, Rowan, yeah, great, great, great. Okay, so can we have the next slide, please, John? Excellent. So there you are. That's your sentence. All right. So let's go to the next slide, please. Right. So let's remember, because my voice isn't so good today, my throat's hurting, you have to help me. So the sentence starts with the. So the... So can we start with this one? So the... So we had 3 words, first, second, third. Okay, good. So the first kid, now we need the verb. What verb do we need here? The first kid, what's this? What's in the picture? What did the first kid do? No, that's not our verb. We had a very simple verb. Good. So the first kid built, what did he build? A house. See if you can finish the sentence. Okay. So the first little kid, very, very good, Mariam. You've got it. Yes, Maggie, you were near. So the first little kid, not boy, the first little kid, because that's the name of the story, built a house made of straw. Okay, wonderful. All right. Okie doke. Let's have a look. Next slide, please, John. Right. Good. All righty. So next slide, please. So what do we have here now? How do we start the sentence? Where did humble housewife come from? Ya Fatma. Okay, so we had the first little kid. So now we have the... Good. Maggie, you're starting the sentence. The second little kid. So the second little kid. And what's the verb? Very good. Omnia. Yes. And I think who else did it? Yes, Miriam. Yes, very good indeed. All right. Very, very good. Okay, nice one. So can we show the sentence, please, John? Very good. All right. Now, if we were in class face to face, you would be calling this out. All right. Because we're online, we're doing it slightly differently. All right. So what's coming next? So we've had the first little kid, the second little kid. What's next? Give you a clue. Good. So the third little kid. Now, what's the verb? We had build. So very good, Miriam. Good. Built a house, made. So remember the sentence? Okay. The third little kid built a house made of. Yes, Omnia has got it. Very, very good indeed. Okay, yes, a house made of bricks. Very, very good. All righty. Can you show us the next slide, please, John? Okay, great. Oh, I wrote off bricks instead of a made of bricks. There you are. So whoever wrote of bricks, good for you. And you can kill me later. All right. So the three little kids have all built their houses. Okay. Can we go back, John, please? About 3 or 4 slides. Okay. Okay. Now the next one, please. Okay. And the next slide. Great. Now we are going to continue the story. Now, who's this? Can you remember? 3 words. Actually, 4. Good, Nancy, you've got it. Yes, very good indeed. So we've got the big bad wolf. All right. So the first little kid built a house of straw, but the big bad wolf. Now I didn't tell you this verb, so but I can think you know it. So what's this verb? The big bad wolf. What's the verb? Good. What's the past tense of come? Yes, we've got came. So the big bad wolf came. Very good. And he said, now listen to this very carefully, because in class you would be repeating this. Nope. The big bad wolf came and he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Okay. All right. So this is what happened. The wolf huffed. And he did one more. And the house, what's the verb? The house. Good, keep going. What happened to the house after the wolf huffed and puffed? Well done. I think a bit of lagging going on. Good. Yes, very good. So we'll start from the beginning. Okay. The big bad wolf came and he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he did. He went, and the house fell down. All right. Next slide, please, John. Fell down. All right. So next slide again, please, John. Sorry, keep moving. So remember, the second little kid built a house of wood. But what happened? He's very big. See if you can make the whole sentence. The big bad wolf came and he said, very good. Yes. So that's exactly what's happened. So in class, we would say this all together. So the big bad wolf came and he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he did it. He went, oh. This was a bit more difficult. So he did it again. One more time. And the house. What happened? What's the verb? He didn't say, I'll blow it all away. He just said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Good. And the house fell down. Yeah, Mustafa collapsed. Yani little kids. Mish mumkin. Yeah. If a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old knows the word collapsed, I will stop teaching English because I will become unnecessary. Lovely. All right. So what comes next? Next slide, please, John. Next 2 slides, sorry. Yes. So the third little kid built a house of bricks and the big bad wolf came and he said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he tried. He went, oh my God. Okay, try again. And again. Oh. Oh, that's very difficult. But the house, can you finish the sentence? Good. No, so now we don't say and, we say but the house. Can you do the whole thing? But the house. Very good. So, but the house didn't fall down. So, what's the name? The big bad wolf. Very good. The house didn't fall down. So, what did the wolf do? So, the big bad wolf. Yes. So, the big bad wolf ran away. Now, of course, because he's a wolf, and if I were in class, I would have all the children going at the end of the story. So, what happens at the end of the story? Let's have a look. Next slide, please. Oh, come back one. All right. So, yes, okay. We can ask the students to tell us the last sentence. So, the 3 little kids lived happily ever after. All righty. Okay. So that's our first story. Okay. Very good. Excellent. Next slide, please, John. Okay, so now I want you to think about these questions and I'd like you to type your ideas into the chat box. Very well done for participating in a story that's quite difficult to do online. You did very well. Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you, Safa. Thank you. To see you. So have a look at the questions. Please feel free to type your answers in the chat box. You're kind. You're very kind. Thank you. So was this an enjoyable story? I mean, it's old, isn't it? I mean, yes, I just changed the name. I think it's what we call old is gold. I mean, this story is so old. We did this story when I was younger, but I just changed the name because it just makes it a bit more culturally acceptable. Very well noted, Umnia. Yes, because this is called a story build activity. Very, very good. Well done, Rowan, for noticing. So the teacher tried to provide some prompts and then tries to make the students provide the story. Okay, so with some scaffolding. I think all teachers who teach children, we have to be quite good at acting, or at least we shouldn't mind being stupid. I always think that teaching children is one of the has a great advantage of us being paid to be silly. and I'm already silly, so if somebody pays me for it, I'm very happy. Well done. Lots of skills there, especially speaking, because that's the main aim of doing the story, because we did it verbally. And yes, some reading as well. Mustafa said, yes, it's nice to have puppets and toys in a lesson. So I just had my wolf. All right. Of course, we could have other pictures. All right. But very well noticed that all the students can participate. Maybe they don't say the whole sentence, but we're trying to help them to develop the whole sentence. All right. So in class, I would drill this and back chain it and get them to repeat. All right. So that all the students can do it. All righty. So that's very, very important. Okay. What about the language? Did we use any verbs? Did we? Which verbs did we? Oh, in fact, we did use verbs because I told you. Which verbs did we have? Yes, very good. So we had the past simple, didn't we? Yes. So, and they were simple verbs like came, ran away, and we had built as well, didn't we? All right. And the important thing is, of course, if you're doing this story in class, the children do all the actions with you. All right. Because you can use the actions to elicit the phrases. And then the big bad wolf ran away. Okay. And the huff and I'll puff is super, super important. Okay, we'll come to the follow-up activities in a moment. I should have left that one at the end. Yes, very, very well noted. Made out of, made of, because this is not going to come up in the course books for children, but it's a phrase that you need, isn't it? Yes. So we might do writing with it in another lesson or later in the lesson, but at the moment we're just doing mostly speaking and reading. All right, so well noticed. Very good indeed. Yes. Okay. And do we need a lot of materials? Nice one, Heidi. Yes. Do we need to have lots of things? Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Safa asked a good question. Yes. Is it suitable for kindergarten, for nursery school, preschool? Yeah, sure. And they can do quite a lot. Good. Yes, you can have flashcards. Actually, I wouldn't even bother with pen and paper myself because I want the students to speak. Okay, so this is a story build activity where we make the students speak. But later on Near Very Good, we might have some paper for the students to write. But a marker on the board or use PowerPoint, whatever you like, or your smart board. Okay, if you have an IWB. Personally, I think it's nice with some toys. Okay, it makes it more fun. And there's one very important piece of language that we haven't mentioned. The children love this part of the story best. I learned this story when I was a kid. Okay, our teachers told it to us. The thing that we always remember is, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Okay, so this is very onomatopoeic, isn't it? Some of you are literature graduates, you know a lot about this. So children remember onomatopoeic language. Ha, ha, blow your house down, and then all together. Okay, so these are the things that make it memorable. So again, huff and puff is not taught in most books. All right, you don't see it in the course books, but you can then feed it in. You bring the language in, okay, because you're scaffolding with your actions so they can see what it means. So yes, very simple material. You don't need much. Well, if you're old like me, when we started, there were no, no PowerPoint, no computers. We just had a whiteboard, some markers, and some things. Okay, yes, realia, always very important. All righty. Okay, so let's think about follow-up activities. What kind of things could we do? Any ideas? Don't worry if you can't think of them immediately. Well done, Salma. I don't think I ever write that word out without checking. Onomatopoeia. You've got the. It's. I think it's the kind of word I would not like to have to encounter in a spelling contest, even though I was very good at spelling at school. Yeah, very nice. Yes. Maybe, reordering the story using pictures. Yes, put them in the wrong order. The students could, rearrange. Very nice indeed. Suffer using a puppet of some kind. Maybe you could have three children puppets or finger puppets where you just draw them on the fingers. Okay. You don't have to have anything too fancy because sometimes puppets are a bit expensive to buy. Yeah. Very good. Yes, or near. Yeah. Okay. Acting out the story. Maybe, to start with, you can have like some of your students say the sentence for the first little kid, some of your students say the sentence for the second and their third. All right. So that way that they can hide, together. So people don't worry about making mistakes because if they all say it at the same time, it doesn't matter. All right. Really good. Yes. Always act out the story. Sometimes you can have a situation where uh, half the class say the sentence and the other half act it out. Yes, absolutely. All righty. Okay. Next slide, please, John. Oh, some analysis. Well, what kind of analysis could we have? Because this is for kids, isn't it? It's a children's story. Ah, have I lost a slide? I will just make sure that I'm not giving the wrong information. Okay. Okay, we'll stay where we are with that one. Don't worry about that slide for now. But yes, there are lots and lots of things that you can do. Use puppets, maybe make paper plate puppets. Very, very good. Yes, exactly. Any kind of role play would be good. You can have lots and lots of things, couldn't you? Um, Practice, you could have them act out, you could have, I just thought of something else just now. Maybe change the ending of the story. Yeah, that's also a possibility. So, allow the kids to be a bit creative. Maybe uh, change the ending so that the wolf gets in and eats one of the kids because children are horrible. They think of all kinds of things. All righty. So, a quick sort of overview about using stories. Okay. I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, but basically, I want to think about why we use stories for teaching English. Okay. We can also use stories for teaching other subjects, but we are language teachers. Yes, imagine what happened to the wolf. Maybe interview the wolf. That's what I was thinking of, and I lost my idea. Yes, or they could write a message to the wolf. Where did you go when you ran away? Okay, they could tell each other what they thought. Yes, absolutely. So there are lots and lots of things you can do with stories. So reasons for using stories. Well, part of it is what Carol Reed, the great goddess of young learner teaching, often mentions that stories provide entry points to learning. So because they cater to a different variety of learning preferences. So I'm not using multiple intelligences because that's old jargon and not entirely correct. But children are active learners mostly. All right. Some of us learn by hearing, or learn more effectively by hearing and seeing and doing, and activities, because there are also things we could do in the story, aren't there? Maybe have pictures of some of the things in the story, and when you hear that thing mentioned, they can hold the picture up, or they can, for example, if you hear the word kid, you have to jump. All right. So you can say or you say when we hear the verbs, you have to jump. All right, or you have to turn around. Lots of things we could do. So stories provide, a great, they cater for lots of different learning preferences. Okay, content, as I say, I'm being very basic here because when we're teaching children, of course, we're teaching language because we're language teachers, but we need to make the the content must be meaningful to children. So there must be some connection to their world. So that's why there's no point talking about abstract things, because it doesn't mean anything. But you can bring in things like science or geography if the children are studying those subjects, you know, in their own language. So, you know, if you wanted to develop and go cross-curricular, you know, where wolves live, what do wolves eat, how many babies do they have, um, or toys. Do you have toys at home? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I know I'm going a bit all over the place, but just throwing things at you there. And one of the great things about stories is culture, because it's an entry point into culture, knowing, you know, because where stories are very good is they often show that there are similarities. Okay, because stories often have a moral, don't they? And this is quite universal, I found. Even if your story is different from mine, there are many similar lessons and morals at the end of the story. Good, you can adapt it. Well, that's why I went with the three little kids, because sometimes I can't teach the story as pigs because that's not appropriate, you know, for religious and cultural reasons. So that's something to bear in mind. All right. Like when I lived in Turkey, for years we could teach the story as the Three Little Pigs, and Turkish people were already doing it. Turkish teachers were doing it, and it was absolutely fine because I checked. If I went to a school, I'd say, "Can I tell it like this?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, it's fine." And then about 10, 12 years ago, it became unacceptable. So we said, "The Three Little Kids." That's it. Fine, solved. Okay, so adapt. All right, next slide, please. Okay, I'll just show you this part. All right, so I'm not going to go through all of this because time's always the enemy, but these are very simple reasons for using stories. Okay, children are creative, they're very imaginative, they've got lots and lots of ideas, and stories help to bring that out. And they do develop fluency because if the children say the lines from the story, then they can develop the sentences, they can extend it, you know. So like we said, you know, the first little kid built a house of straw, but the big bad wolf came and he said, you see, we're extending the sentences. We start with the first little kid built a house of straw, but the big bad wolf came and he said, you see, we can extend the sentences very well. All right. So this is where stories are very good. Things that don't come up in the grammar books or the students' books in the same way. All right. Yes, contextualization, it's meaningful because children, you know, love stories about other kids, so it makes sense to them. All right, maybe children building a house might not be totally meaningful, but it's imaginative, isn't it? Maybe kids can build houses. They build houses out of cardboard boxes. All right, so the link to, you know, other types of work, you know, cross curricular, maths, building, you know, stories are very effective. Yes. Okay, you can even use stories for science, you know, so there are lots of things. All right, and it's a very simple way to explain some kind of idea, isn't it? The moral of the story is, so, you know, was the wolf a good, was the wolf nice? No, he was big and he was bad. Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you. Steam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done, Amira. Bravo. Intishatura. All righty, next slide, please. Okay, right. You know this from teaching kids. There's no point talking about things that happened yesterday. Most of it's gone. There's no point us talking about grammatical structures. They don't know what tenses are, especially the younger ones. Maybe after 9 or 10 because they know them in Arabic, but at the moment, no. And the other important point is repetition. Stories are repetitive. Exactly, you know, I'll huff and I'll puff, and the big bad wolf came, but the big bad wolf came and he said, you see, again, again, again. And because of this, you know, this helps children because they've got a short attention span. They can't remember everything. All righty. Movement's got to have the sensory input. You don't want them just sitting there. They need to move around. Okay. And storytelling is universal. Good. Yes, indeed. Next slide, please. Okay. Some of you may or may not know this story. I'm not going to do the whole thing because of time, But just to give you the idea, I actually have the book. All right. So obviously, I don't need a book for the three little kids because most of us know the story inside out. But this one's got a bit more information. But I'm not going to do all of it because, as I say, time is, we need more time. So, what can tell me about the picture? Very nice. Anything you can tell me about the picture, please? Good. And what does she look like? I mean, can you describe her? Good. Yes, yes. Very nice. Seesaw. Well done. Seesaw's a nice one, isn't it? Onomatopoeic. Okay, so even if the kids don't know it. Right. Why is Susan messy? Yes. Which part of her is messy? Yeah, her hair's not very tidy, is it? Mind you, my hair's not very tidy. All righty. And yes, she has a cat, doesn't she? Yes. Okay. Oh, nice. Yes. So she's you say she likes to have fun. Yes. Her hair's messy. Um, do you think children would like that? Having messy hair. Hmm. Ah, yeah, very nice. Yes. Nice one, Rauda. Yes. Okay. Indeed. Yes, because children are always being told by their parents, make your hair tidy, don't be messy. Da, da, da. So I think it's nice to have stories where the kids' hair is messy because kids are messy. All right. Some children are very tidy. When I was a kid, my sister and I, okay, I went to school and arrived home, returned home exactly the same as I left. Okay. I had, of course, like many young girls, I had hair to my waist. My mother put it in plaits, and I was very tidy, and we had to wear uniform. Da, da, da. So both of us went to school with our hair in two plaits. I would come home looking the same. My sister would come home with her plaits out and her shirt hanging out of her skirt, okay, and her tie would be okay. So my mum was always, why can't you be like Laura Jane? You're so messy. Okay, so I was neat and she was messy. Ironically, my sister is she is Abla Nazifa. She is a million. She could make Abla Nazifa look dirty, yani. Okay, she is crazy, crazy clean. So she was messy as a kid, but not now. All right. But yes, kids are supposed to be messy. So children like this kind of thing, instead of showing like perfect kids, because kids aren't perfect and we're not perfect. All right. So this is a story about Susan. And does Susan look happy? Yes, you said happy. Good. All righty. So in our story, we need some verbs. Okay. So let's have a look. So what's the first verb? What's she doing? It's actually the name of the story. Ah, sorry, sorry. Yes, good. Yes. So obviously in class, it'd be like, ha 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 ha. Good. And I don't know if you can see this one. She's in the middle. What's she doing? Any ideas? So we had laughs. So the next one, good, yes. All righty. As I said, I'm not going to do everything, but we've got some nice ones here. I'll show you this one. What about this one? Yes, she's having a nice time. So what's that verb? Any ideas? Good. So we've got laugh, we've got sing, we've got swing. And of course, while we're telling the story, we would ask different questions about the pictures, like what she's wearing, who's she with, and so on. Okay. So let's have, hmm, we'll skip the few. Okay. All righty. Let's see if you can see this one. See if that's easy to see or not. Here you go. What verb can we have here? Well done, Maggie. Yes. Got swing. Is she hanging? Oh, we had swing. So, but what's she doing now? Hug. Okay. She's moving, so she's maybe with her grandpa, yeah. She's dancing. Okay. Don't worry. Okie dokie. Now, I will do, I think, one one more verb. And I'm going to get you to think of some other verbs. What's the verb here? Good. We've got swimming. Now, I'm not going to look for a moment. So I want you to add some more verbs. There are other verbs in the story. So see if you can write some more verbs and we'll see if our verbs are similar. I'm going to give you 45 seconds. So what have we got? Good. Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah. Okie dokie. Very nice indeed. Yes, some of your verbs are the same. Good. There's swim. We have, yes, very good. And we have one paint, and but of course you don't know because you haven't said the story yet. All righty. So, okay, because of the time, we can't do the whole thing. But do you think Susan is very active? Is Susan an active person or a quiet person? Nice. We got jumping and da da da. Yep, yep. Okie dokie. So you all think she's active, yeah? Oh, nice. You said she's full of energy. Yes. Very nice. Okay. Well, uh, let me read you the last part of the story, and I will show you the picture first. That, oh, no, I won't. I'll tell you the story first. I'll tell you the last line of the story. That is Susan through and through, just like me and just like you. Right. What did you notice? Did you expect the last picture? I'll show you again. Very well noticed, Safa. Yes. So you've said, she's very energetic and very active. But yes, well done, Nancy. We didn't expect her to be in a wheelchair. All right. And that's why the last line of the story has a lovely, you know, message. That is Susan through and through, just like me and just like you. All right. So sorry I couldn't tell the whole story. It was never written for English teaching. This was written for mother tongue English speakers. So it's yes, and obviously the objective is to promote inclusion, okay, EDI, so yes, she's in a wheelchair, but she's happy and she does lots of things. And in the book, actually, they have lots of things like there are adjectives to describe mood, for example, like Susan feels, Susan hears, Susan hugs, Susan fears. Um, so it's a very inclusive story because there's lots of things you don't expect. She trots, she rows, she does lots of things. She's happy, she's sad, she's good, she's bad. So it's a very, very nice story. And I'm sorry we don't have time to do the whole thing, but it's a really nice story. You can find it. I'm sure you can find versions of it online, and I'll provide the reference because there are many materials for using this in class that you can use without breaking copyright. Okay, and I'll show you the book at the end that you can use. So it's a wonderful story. You can teach all the verbs. You can use flashcards and everything else. All right. So let's do a quick. Oh, sorry. Next slide, please, John. So here are my questions. Oh, that's a nice compliment. So I think the main thing with this, it's a very nice message, isn't it? That, because we tend to portray, children or people with disabilities, okay, as something terrible, but it doesn't mean that, yes, beautiful. Is that Nuri? Don't judge a book by its cover. Yes. As we say in Turkish, ağzına sağlık, health to your mouth. Yes. That is it's a good piece of Shakespeare, isn't it? Stop judging people by appearance, and don't make assumptions that you can't do things because you're in a wheelchair. All right. So this is a very good way of getting a message across to children that you can still have fun in your life, just because you can't run around. It doesn't mean that you're having a bad time in your life. So yes, this is one good one. There are many more. If you Google, like stories on, promoting inclusion, disability, there are many, many that you can download without, say, buying books or breaking copyright. It just so happens this one, I've got I can show you where the material is to use this story. And I think you can find some of this on YouTube. So you won't be breaking this one. Yeah. So absolutely. Yes, exactly. Well spotted. Yes. This is an absolutely wonderful book. The story is really, really nice. Of course, I couldn't show you exactly, but I just want to show it's only like each page just has like 2 words. Okay, they're not long sentences like Susan's shy, Susan's angry, Susan swims, Susan sings. Okay, so the children can join in. They're not being pushed to make long sentences. So linguistically, it's not too challenging, but it's sufficiently challenging in that there are lots of verbs and lots of adjectives. Okay, um, and of course the illustrations are absolutely wonderful. They really, really are. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Now, this book has brilliant follow-up possibilities. I think you can, okay, I'll show you a couple just because of time. So, you know that I am addicted to making big books. So I made a big book. Okay. Um, yeah, exactly, Salma. She's just like any other kid. So, in my big book, I just used some post-it notes with some adjectives, okay? And oh, this is a sentence ordering. So the sentence is jumbled, and uh, the children move the post-it notes to put the sentence in order. Okay, so that's one page of my big book. And here I have a little pocket in my big book. It says, look. All right. So in here, I have a little matching task. Okay, so I have some picture cards with words. So like angry, and they have to match the the expression. Okay, so they have the picture and the word. All right. So the children can make these. You can show them how to do them. And I think in my last picture, I have Susan being active in her wheelchair. She is not hanging. I have not killed her. Okay, it pops out, but because I keep taking this book everywhere, it gets a bit squashed. So a follow-up activity, right? Follow-up task, and of course the usual things like retell the story, da, 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 da. And remember the flat books, okay? So here we can get the students to develop their sentence structure. So I've got Susan is happy, okay, because, so if I want to make it challenging, the students can write the adjectives. So if I want to do adjective practice, Susan is happy because, Susan is sad because, and they have to provide the last word or the last phrase, okay? You can adapt this in so many ways. So as I've said, in previous sessions, things like this are always good. This is a more useful homework for kids than, filling in gaps and rubbish like that, because the kids can then fill it in. They can read the story to mummy and daddy. And as I said, mummy and daddy will be very happy. They'll be like, oh, my kids are geniuses. MashaAllah. My kids speak fantastic English. All right. So we've got that. So there are lots and lots of things you can do. One of the best things that I actually did with a group of kids once is as a project, I asked them to go around the school and show me how difficult or how easy it was for somebody with a wheelchair to use their school. Okay, so we went round together and they said, oh, this is difficult, teacher, because we have stairs. This is, they can't go up. There's no lift, no elevator. So then we sort of brainstormed some ideas, and they had to redesign the school to make it wheelchair friendly. All right. So, you know, then you, of course, you can introduce lots of language. We need to build, we need to install a lift, we need a lift, we need ramps. Okay. We should, the doors should be wide. See, look, phrases. We need wide doors, and the doors should be wide. So there are lots and lots of things that you can do with that. Okay. Um, so, uh, lots and lots of possibilities, but very good project work. All right. Now, we're not doing the last one, but I'll just show it to you very quickly. So I think because it's gone a bit quiet, I'm wondering if there's been a connection problem. All right. So, John, can we just whiz through this? This is for teenagers. Okay. So next slide, please. Okay. So you could take photos of that. Okay. So feel free. Yes. Very nice, Nuri. So I'm going to whiz only just to show you the last activity. This is for teenagers. Okay. So come back. Can I get you to go back to that, John's first one very quickly? Back. Yeah, great. Yes, here. All right. So this is one where we call this cooperative storytelling. All right. So we tell the students this first sentence. They have to write it down, and then they have to start describing the street, describing the cinema, and everything else. So then we say, okay, right, doesn't matter if they haven't finished. Then we go to the next one. Next slide, please, John. Okay, this is the next sentence. Feel free to, I can post this later. So again, you dictate the sentence. He saw a beautiful girl walking past. What was she like? Tall, short, slim, da da da. Wearing blah blah blah. Okay. Right. Next slide. I say the next sentence. He called out to her, so they have to say what he said. All right. Okay. So keep it polite. No naughty words. All right. Next slide, please. And they started talking. Now, we don't know if the conversation was happy or not because they decide, the students decide. All right, next one, please. Okay, so another young man arrived. Who was he? Okay, maybe he was a brother or something. So they have to describe him. After they've done that, then you say finish the story. So the teacher gives the prompts, the students write. Each time you give them like a couple of minutes to write, and then you give them another prompt, they write some more. So at the end, they've got the beginnings of a story. And of course, you need to tell them, don't worry about your grammar and punctuation and everything. All right. Because at the moment, we just want them to write in this case. And then they can peer check and then check their grammar, pronunciation, and everything else. And this is great, obviously, for practicing past tenses. It's also creative, and they can compare their stories. You can have a gallery walk. They can put them on the walls in the room and go and read each other's. Which is the funniest story, which one was the saddest, which one was the happiest. So they have a reason to read each other's work. So this one is good for teenagers and adults. Okay. Yes, I think you can listen to this session on our IH page, and I'll get John to clarify that for me. All right, so finishing off. So next slide, please, John. I think we're finishing these bits. Okay, that's the whole story. So if you want to take a photo, please do. So you give it piece by piece. So our first two stories were very much for kids, little ones. You decide on the age group. And then this one is much more for teenagers. Probably about 13, 14 plus. All righty. So next slide, please, John. We're finishing off as usual. Okay, so if there was anything that you found particularly useful, I would love to hear what you think. Okay. Throw your ideas in the chat box and we'll wrap up. All righty. So anything that you found useful, or a story, maybe which story you preferred. Feel free to write what you think. I don't know if there's a bit of a lag, because or I'm faster than the internet, which is highly unlikely. That's just a dream. So any comments that you'd like to add, feel free. Okay. Which story did you like best? Ah, yes, good. Yeah, absolutely, Omnia. This I've done this with teens and adults. It works every time. You can change the prompts. I mean, they're just the ones that I came up with. But you can change them. You can adapt them because it's really good for developing the story. And you can give the students, you know, if you want, they can, depending on the length of your lessons, you can give them another 10 minutes to develop the story more fully. Um, or if time is limited, maybe they can finish it for homework and then bring it back. Thank you. We are teachers. We have to have some energy. But like all teachers, when we finish our lessons, we just go home and go. That's being a teacher, isn't it? This is our life. This is how things are. Okay. All righty. I'm going to go to the next slide so that you can see the references. Okay. Lovely. Yes, I like Susan very much because it's a really nice, inclusive story. Yes. Yep. Ah, very good point, Nancy, about turning it into a conversation. Yes. Nice role play. So this book, Teaching English, the Storytelling Handbook. Sorry, John, can I get you to go to the next slide because I'm going to come back. So this is what it looks like. This book is free, okay? You can download this from the British Council website. And can we go back to that, please? The previous slide, please, John. Okay. Right. So that link, teaching, it's sort of 1, 2, 3 down. This has lots and lots of ideas, teaching material for using with those stories. And one of the stories they're using, they provide materials for, is Susan Laughs. So there's free material. All righty. There are things that you can cut up, photocopy. There's masses, and for other stories as well. Some of you came to the conference years ago to NAATI, when I did My Cat Likes to Hide in Boxes. There's material in there for it as well. There are lots and lots of ideas. Ah, yes, nice science teaching. Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. Very nice indeed. Yes. Everything is here for adapting. Because always remember, the expert in the classroom is you. All right. So that's there are more things for teaching young adults as well. Also on the British, if you type in British Council stories with teens, they have material. In fact, I was using it earlier. I'm so sorry. Just give me one moment. I forgot to add that link. Yes. There's a whole load of stuff there. Yes, if you just type in Google, sorry, because I can't add it to the screen because of StreamYard. It's not so easy to edit. But if you just type stories with teens, lesson plans, British Council, you will get a whole load of stuff. The materials are there, everything. Okay. And some of it includes STEM stuff as well. Okay. And also in that storytelling handbook, there are ideas that you can easily adapt for STEM teaching. Okay. So for the young adults, just type in Google storytelling, stories with teens, lesson plans, British Council. Okay. Yes. And feel free to use those as well. So thank you very much for participating this evening. We will be taking a break from our back to school series. All right. Um, because it's summer. Summer is our busiest time of year. I will be working on CELTA courses, and I never know what time I'm coming home in the evening. So we will probably restart the back to school series at the beginning of September, something like that, when we go back to school again. And during the summer, we will be running CELTA courses and the International House certificate for teaching young learners and teenagers. So we'll be doing lots of stuff. So if you want more information on courses and things, last slide, please, John. You know our link. All right. So just go to the website. And thank you very, 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 very much. And the answer to your question, Yusra, is yes. Okay. Bless you all. I forgot to ask you if you'd had a lovely Eid, but I suspect you did because it was nice and long. And I hope you found the session useful. So I know the next few weeks is going to be very busy because you've got exams and end of year stuff. So good luck. And I look forward to meeting you again in September, inshallah. Okay, so bye bye.